And so then today is Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. The time right now is 10:58 a.m. We're here with Ruben Gonzalez out of Coachella. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Órale pues, raza. Welcome to Radio Aswan KUCR 88.3 FM. Welcome to Chicano Highlights. I am your host, Betoman, and we have a very special guest, Mr. Ruben Gonzalez out of Coachella. ¿Cómo estás, compañero?
Doing good, Beto.
Good. So, vamos a comenzar con tu background, ¿verdad? ¿De dónde son tus padres?
They're from outside of Monterrey, Mexico.
Ándale, mira nomás. Órale. And that's Monterrey is Nuevo León, isn't it?
Yeah,
the state of Nuevo León.
It's actually a small city, Montemorelos, Allende, outside of Monterrey, Mexico.
Wow, okay, all right. And then, what were their names? ¿Cómo se llamaban?
My jefito's name was Octavio. My mom's name was Evangelina.
All right. And ¿por qué se vinieron para acá? ¿Cómo se vinieron para acá?
Well, my dad migrated when he was 18 years old. He would go up to Chicago and that whole area, Oklahoma, Nebraska to work as a young man. And then eventually moved to Texas, and then from Texas moved to California.
Órale. All right. And ¿en qué trabajaba?
En el labor, just following the migrant worker.
All right. And ¿cuántos hermanos y hermanas tienes?
Come from a family of 12.
Wow.
6 boys and 6 girls.
All right. Give me all their names listed in
My oldest brother is Robert.
Mm-hmm.
Then my brother Eddie, Octavio, myself, Johnny, and Jesus. And my sisters Lupe, Mary, Dina, Trina, Josie, and Francis.
A
dirty dozen.
All right. Well, good. All right. And so you grew up. ¿Dónde naciste tú and where did you grow up?
I was actually lived on 52, Avenue 52, in Coachella. I was born in Coachella, actually in Indio, because they didn't have an hospital in Coachella. If not, I would have been born in Coachella. But born in Indio, raised my whole life in Coachella.
All right. And so where did you go to elementary school, middle school, and high school?
I went to Palmview Elementary School, and then to Dayland Junior High School, and then CD High School.
All right. What year did you graduate? Más o menos. You don't have to tell me the exact year, just más o menos.
High school?
High school.
Yeah, 77.
All right. And what was it like growing up during the 70s? Give me a description, más o menos, and what did you do in high school?
It was good. I mean, growing up in Coachella, at that time, it was a small community. I would say 8,000 people. Now it's evolved into a big community. We're like close to 50,000 people. But back then, everybody knew each other, All the families were pretty close-knit families. It was good. I mean, it was a good childhood. Just baseball and football and the swimming pool on 6th Street, always on our bikes and running around the streets as kids. We'd play baseball there at Dayland Park, Bricksfield, barefooted, 199 degrees, with a baseball cap, no shirt and shorts. So we did that religiously for many years as a kid growing up.
Really?
But good childhood.
All right. And so then by the time you hit 18, how was the lowrider scene and the gang scene? Más o menos.
Yeah, well, the lowrider scene is, I've always been involved, as a kid. I was intrigued and fascinated by the cars and been involved at a real young age in the lowrider movement. Bought a car in high school. Was able to work part-time also at a restaurant at night. And I was able to...
Pues, ¿dónde y qué clase de carro?
About a 64 Impala Chevy.
Órale.
And I worked at this little place called El Morocco on Miles Street in Indio. There was a family, friends. Our neighbors actually managed the kitchen. Don Filimon Calderon and his 3 sons. So they hired me there. I was a cook, but I was really a dishwasher.
All right. And so then Dime exactly the type of hobbies that you had, ¿verdad? Specific hobbies. Did you pick up a musical instrument? Did you get into football? ¿Qué onda?
Just all the sports. I mean, I liked all the sports. Hobbies, it wasn't until I got into high school I did ceramics. I was a potter. I learned how to do pottery and a little bit of painting, but I've always liked the arts, different arts, just respect for all the artists and, the creativity.
Órale, white pottery, carnal.
Just a class I had, and then, I really liked it, and then I got into it. I had a good relationship with the teacher, Miss Ward, at the time. She was real nice with me, and I just got into it, and I learned how to do pottery. I was a pretty good potter. And then I had it at College of the Desert also.
All right. And so now you're in high school. Now, did you work in the fields?
I did at a young age.
What age? Más o menos.
I'm saying 8, 10 years old.
Okay. And until what age?
Probably till in high school. We used to do weekend stuff. Pick onions.
Pues, ¿qué hay en Coachella, verdad? La lechuga, limones,
Well,
what
we
else?
worked in the grape también, and the uva.
Grapes,
And then just different type of crops.
Dates, ¿verdad?
Yeah, I never worked in the days.
Órale.
But whatever was available at the time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Did a little bit of cotton picking too when I was a young kid.
Uh-huh.
I remember that.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Pues, so, all right. And so then, now your parents estaban más o menos, poverty, ¿verdad? Level, ¿verdad? Income-wise?
Yeah, that's, it's a big family to sustain of, 12 kids. So, we struggled as kids, so, but it was always, we were never short of anything. I was always provided the basic stuff,
All right. So at 18, what did you decide to do? ¿Te fuiste a the military? You went to college? What did you decide to do at 18?
Breaking all the odds, I ended up at San Diego State right out of high school, and that kind of changed the whole mindset. It wasn't just a neighborhood mentality; it had more of a world perspective. I was there, I went to summer school at San Diego State, and I was there for a year. Came back and got into construction, like towards the end of '79, with the mindset of I was going to make a bunch of money in construction and go back and finish law school. That never happened. I joined the union, and then to '79, I worked till '86. '86, I got my general contractor's license, and then like 6 months later, I got my engineering license. So I got stuck in that field pretty much my whole been in it my whole life.
All right. So when you say union, what union are you talking about here?
I was in the labor's union, but the labor's union basically, I learned pretty much all the trades. I learned how to be a carpenter. I learned how to do cement finisher. I could pretty much do all the trades. So when they would send us out to different projects, the union did. I worked on commercial projects. I worked on residential projects. Pretty much the whole spectrum of the construction industry. I worked on a few of the bridges in the valley. I worked on the Ramon Bridge. I worked on the Sunrise Bridge. I worked on the Betoman Bridge. I worked on the Bogey Bridge, which is not Gianatri. But yeah, I worked on all those different projects.
Wow, qué loco, ¿verdad? Yeah. When you were there as a teenager, ¿verdad? And there was a lot of struggles in the farms with the farm workers and of course the great boycott y todo eso. Did you see any of that personally, or did you see it from the sidelines?
No, we were in the middle of it. Actually, the whole family was involved. My sister Lupe, my sister's oldest sister Lupe. We were there working the grapes. Eventually became part of the movement también. So the whole family was involved with the U of W.
Órale, all right, cool, awesome. So now you got into, of course, contracting, engineering. Did you start a business? What did you do?
Yeah, we started a business. Me and my 2 younger brothers, Jesus.
Jesus
yeah,
and
my brother Johnny.
Okay, so there was 3 of you, and what did you call the business?
It was called Toltec Incorporated, Toltec Inc.
Okay. And how long did this business last? When did it start, and how long has it lasted?
We started in '86. We got incorporated in '86, and we went all the way to the 2000s. Um, well, I just deactivated the company maybe 3 years ago,
Okay.
but it's still in good standings. We basically went our separate ways. My brother Jesus has his own company. I have my own company now.
Oh,
I
wow.
have my original company, because I was the license holder. So the license number that I got allocated in '86, which is an old number, 497347. That's the current license that I have as a contractor.
All right. And what other businesses have you done within the Coachella Valley and construction?
What we had a music store in Indio
Mm-hmm.
called Pates Plus, which was a pretty popular location. It was basically music and pagers and phones. My brother Jesus ran the technical part of the music. I mean, I'm sorry, the phones and the pagers at the time, and I handled all the music. And the store was real busy. We were there probably 18 years, 16 to 18 years, I think. And then during the last recession, and then everything was moving from CDs to digital. So that kind of business kind of died. But when I was there, it was amazing. I mean, I just had so many customers from throughout the valley, young kids, and all different type of genre of music, from blues to rock and roll. And I used to do special orders, stuff that people couldn't find, or they would come in and they would ask me, and I would try to track it down. I had different vendors all over the country.
Right. No, I went into the store a couple of times.
Yeah.
So you've always been involved in la política, ¿verdad? Y vamos a decir, and of course I was there, when I started getting involved in Mecha, you guys offered a place for us to meet. It was called Somos Aslan back in, let's see, 91, más o menos. And so I appreciate that you guys have always been involved, your familia, Jesus especially, también. And now you're involved you've always been involved in certain political organizations. What are their names?
I was actually the Fidel Castro of the Coachella Valley Voters League. That organization was founded in 1967, and I took over like in the mid '80s, and we're still in existence. We're not as active as before. We had a lot of older cats who were part of the organization. A lot of us that are unfortunate not with us anymore, but we still regroup and we still hang out. But that organization was pretty active, very active in Coachella and some of the other surrounding communities.
All right. And so then, again, you bought your own ranch. How long have you been in, everybody calls it Ruben's Ranch. I mean, if you're out in Coachella, everybody knows where it's at. How long have you had this ranch?
That ranch I bought in the early '80s. It was basically just a vacant piece of property, and I developed it throughout the years. That was my little hangout after I got out of work. The guys would hang out there. But it really didn't start doing anything with it till like '85, '86, because there was no water on the property. There was no electricity, so eventually I had a well dug, and then I also did all the underground electrical myself and the guys that worked for me.
All right. And so then también, they had a drive-in in Indio, ¿verdad, for a very long time, and I believe you picked up all the stuff that was there for the kids, ¿verdad?
Yeah, I got a lot of the playground. Actually, I was doing a job on the property. They had from a drive-in, it went to a swap meet, and then it eventually became it's called Martha's Kitchen now, where they provide services for the homeless. But yes, I was able to take a lot of the stuff and I put it out at my place. So I collect a lot of I'm a collector for many years. I do the Americana stuff. I do the porcelain signs. I'm also a car collector, so I've been doing that for many, many years.
All right. And so then you've been involved for a very, very long time. And again, you're an artist in many different ways, but people don't realize just collecting stuff and putting stuff up and saving stuff for historical purposes is art también, ¿verdad? And people don't realize that type of stuff. Now, you started, of course, a couple of different events over the years. Tell me about some of the events.
Well, we do the Synergy Fest. Me and my lady, we basically manage that whole mural that's in Coachella. We overseen it. We put together a timeline, and then it was over the course of 2 years that we put together the mural. It's the longest mural that we know in the world. It's the longest Chicano historical Mexicano timeline mural in the world. It's over 1,000 feet long, and it was a 2-year, endeavor that we did. We did the first one year, and then the second phase we did another year. But it was all grassroots, and nobody got paid. I put together a trailer that had the extension cords, the lights, all the ladders, and all the pintura. So when we started working with artists, we reached out to the community, and we had an overwhelming support from a lot of the local artists. And so a lot of the artists, it was interesting that they had no clue of different timelines of the Chicano movement. So it was an educational also for the artists, because what I did is I told them, look, I'm giving you guys full creative rights. I want you guys to do the research on the timeline that you're allocated, and then once you do the timeline, I look at it and we move forward with it. That's exactly what the way the whole thing transpired, and it was an amazing project, and it was stuff that I would do over and over again. It was beautiful, but there was what was interesting about it, that we basically worked around their timeline. Some of the artists wanted to pay during the day, so if I was available, I would do it. At night, we did a lot of night painting, sometimes till 2, 3 in the morning, with some of these artists that they were working or had other commitments. But so it came together real nice, the whole project.
All right, so just to tell people where it's at, it's on Shady Lane in Coachella by Avenue 52, and it is on the side of Barrio Nuevo is the wall, and then on the other side of the street is what used to be Dateland. What was it? Middle school, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then they changed the name to Bobby Duke School, ¿verdad?
Yes.
All right. So that's basically where it's at, and that mural has been there for years. And murals are important because it tells the history. It tells the culture, and it inspires people to understand themselves, ¿verdad? And to look at themselves as leaders, as workers, as every facet of life, ¿verdad? That's why it's important, these type of murals, especially in our communities, ¿verdad?
Yeah. So what happened on the mural originally was done by a group called Artistas del Barrio. So they started the mural. It really never got finished, and they probably got maybe a little more than a quarter done. And it was the same idea. It was a Chicano historical timeline mural. And then what happened? It stayed there for a long time. Never got finished. And then that peat system on the soil, it has a high alkaline, so it deteriorated the foundation on the block wall. So the city eventually took it down because of the safety risk on it. So they took it down, and then they rebuilt the wall. When they rebuilt the wall, I was in direct communications with some of the leadership, and we took on the challenge. We told them that we're willing to go ahead and take on the challenge and finish the mural. So we did. It was, like I said, over a course of 2 years that we got the mural done, and it's a beautiful piece for the city of Coachella.
All right. So now the mural, can it be found on the internet? What do they look up?
There's a couple of ways. It's called the Shade Lane Mural, the Great Wall of Coachella. We had a guy that was one of the editors or art critics for LA Times that came out. Ed Fuentes, unfortunately, he's not with us. But he came out and visited us, and he goes, wow, Ruben, this thing should be all over. He really loved the mural. He did a story on it in the LA Times. He interviewed myself and a couple of the artists, and he loved the mural. And unfortunately, we lost him because he wanted to do some follow-up stories on the mural, just basically promote it. But yeah, I think it's a beautiful piece.
Exactly. Okay, so now you move on to Synergy Fest. Why? What is the word synergy? What does that mean?
It's just bringing people together, synergy. And what we did is when we inaugurated the mural, we did an event and we collaborated with a couple people. I think ACTA was part of the original. ACTA is Alliance for California Traditional Arts. We worked with the state leadership and some people from LA, and we put together an event and basically to celebrate the inauguration of the mural, basically unveiling the mural. And we brought in some artists, some graffiti artists, and some artists, and there was a couple cars there at the time, and that's basically what it evolved. We're still doing it today after 17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Órale. Well, gracias once again for doing that for our community, ¿verdad? People don't realize, the effort and time that it takes to do these events. But again, it uplifts the community, and people do get involved in many different ways, ¿verdad?
No, it's been beautiful. I think what we've done is basically created a platform for a lot of the garage bands, a lot of artists that never had a platform. And we try to give everybody an opportunity, everybody. And just empower the local youth and musicians and artists in our community. And that's what it's been. You talk to a lot of people that have actually gone on and had successful careers. A lot of them have started with us. We've created that platform for them. And really, nothing existed before we started the Synergy Fest.
Right. Right. And so then I've been out to your ranch again. I was invited to speak several times. I was there with Chunky, ¿verdad? Chunky Sanchez, ¿verdad? Ramon. And we had a real good time. Pero what a lot of people don't know is that your ranch is a hub of the politics in Coachella. And people don't realize that, ¿verdad? You have all kinds of people that run for the politics in the city council and throughout the whole valley. Tell me about that network.
Well, it's something that it started a long time ago. Public service. It's awesome, and I've been involved for many years. As a president of Voters League, obviously come to us for support. We elected 5 board members on the school board, and the commitment we got from them originally was that we were going to name a school after Cesar Chavez, and we got that commitment from them, and then we were the first, I think, city in the entire country to name a school after Cesar Chavez. So we've done some incredible stuff in Coachella. We've been in the forefront of a lot of the politics. But I've always been in the middle of it. Like I said, our legacy goes all the way back with Cesar. My sister was in the boycott in Boston. My brother Eddie was Cesar Chavez's personal bodyguard with his son-in-law Richard Ibarra.
Wow!
They traveled all over. Myself personally, I was involved at a young age of 14, 15 years old. In the boycott in Coachella in the summer of 1973.
Wow!
I was fortunate enough to go to La Paz. I was in La Paz at that age with my family members too. So we spent some time there at La Paz, met Helen, and spent some time with Cesar. I was the boss of the kitchen. I used to say I was the guy who used to clean up after the events. But a lot of good memories of the union, man. It was really inspired. It's heartbreaking what's coming out today, because I was around a lot of those situations. I never seen anything even close to what the allegations are.
Exactly. Yeah. So then you've had a lot of people at the ranch, ¿verdad? Dr. Jesus Chuy Negrete, who sang 500 years in corridos. You had Reyes Lopez Tejerina, which I was proud to bring down to your thing. And then we've had Jose Angel Gutierrez there. You had Jimmy Santiago Baca, the person that wrote the script for Blood In, Blood Out. What other people have you had there?
We've had Juan Felipe Herrera, the poet. We've had a lot of leaders, Chicano leaders, and I've been fortunate, to host them. I mean, it's a big honor for me. And we've had Dolores Huerta, we've had Cristina Chavez also that was running for a position in LA. She came out to do an event at my place. So we've had some incredible people, and then all the local politicians and in the valley, basically pretty much all of them,
All right.
from one end of the valley to the other,
Now you're working. You've been working for years to set up a community center. What's the plans for the community center?
Well, we're in the middle of it. We got a piece of property from the city of Coachella on Second Street and Vine, and the idea is to build a cultural center. And the cultural center would consist of a recording studio to open for musicians and artists who want to come in and record music. We also want to hopefully one day do a small radio station there, and then we have an area where we're doing a little library, Chicano Library, where we'll have information that people can go in there, and some of the young kids in high school or college can do into research, and we'll have all the material there. Documentaries, books, videos, films, that type of stuff. And then we have a community stage that we'll have there, all the garage bands and people that want to use the stage to perform for open mic, that type of stuff. That's our first phase. The second phase would be a ceramic center to create any type of pottery or clay, anything that do with clay. We'll also have a welding shop to do any type of welding. We have a wood shop. That's our second stage. The third stage is a big dance studio, a culinary kitchen to bring in different chefs to basically educate the community on healthy food. And then we have a big gallery that has a coffee shop on the inside. And basically, a gallery would be that everything that's being created there at the center we can showcase and basically sell to the public, and the artists could sell their, whatever they're creating.
Cool, awesome. Now, of course, there's a lot of turmoil in politics, especially the Coachella City Council, but we're not going to get into any detail or anything here. But there's always outside influence that tries to come in and control the city, tries to manipulate the city. They're looking, now at a data center. I believe they're trying to put a big data center somewhere in Coachella. There's a controversy about that, ¿verdad? And how do you see the politics, throughout the years? Because you've been there for a very long time. How do the ups and downs of the Coachella City Council? How do you see that?
Well, look, it's interesting because obviously the outside interests would love to control the politics in Coachella, because Coachella is really one of the last frontiers in the valley. We're a city that's over 25 square miles, and we're probably 30% built out. So there's a potential for so much development, from commercial to residential to industrial. So yeah, they would love to control it. And it's always been a tug of war with the people that were born and raised in Coachella and outside, interests. As long as I'm around, brother, I'm going to continue to fight those people, man. And we want to make sure that our people don't get the short end of the stick. I was fortunate enough, I just stepped down as the chairman of the Planning Commission also for the city of Coachella. But it's really interesting, the impact you make. I've always shied away from public office. They've been asking me for years and years, probably 30 years, to run for the mayorship, and I always, I never was interested in. I always worked from the outside, and I had a good friend of mine, that was one of my mentors, Ventura Gutierrez, that served on the Planning Commission. He was also on the school board. It kind of tricked me to get into the Planning Commission, because he told me, hey, Ruben, let's do this, and I said, no, I'm not interested, Ventura. Anyway, eventually I ended up signing the paper. There was 2 vacant seats. I got appointed, he didn't. Eventually I brought him in too as an alternate, but Ventura was, I got to say, one of my mentors, and one of the most honest, and super integrity, man. That guy was just an awesome guy. He did public service pretty much his whole entire life. He worked with a lot of people, a lot of leaders. I met Bert Corona through him too, through Ventura, and Ventura was just always doing great things for our community.
Exactly. And so then, one thing again, in 1991, 92, is the city council was very gracious. Greg Cervantes and your brother Jesus Gonzalez was the mayor and the pro tem mayor, ¿verdad? And they were able to get us the Bermuda Dunes, what was it, the Bagduma is the center, ¿verdad? So that we can meet as an organization. And a lot of times, the city councils, they don't allow any of that anymore, ¿verdad? It's, community people need to be able to meet somewhere, and a lot of times those facilities are not available. Has that changed?
Well, it depends on who's there, brother. But I always, position, I always supported all the community-based organizations. And I think all the councilman, the mayor, should always do that. They should open the doors because these are residents in our community trying to make a difference and make the changes that are important in our society. You know what I mean? And if you don't embrace those different organizations, this stuff's not going to get done. So myself personally, I think right now things have changed a little bit in Coachella. You know what I mean? We don't have Steven Hernandez. I think did an awesome job. He was there over 20 years with us. Before him was Eduardo Garcia. He also did an amazing job. But it's just the politics change. As time changes, the politics change. I think with these two, with Steven, there was a lot of outside sources. Basically trying to change them. These guys have plans for Coachella. They want to make sure that there's no resistance from the leadership in Coachella. They want to go in there and basically do whatever they want to do. And we're going to continue fighting them. Our community needs to be educated. They need to look at the reality of stuff and look at the players and what they're doing and what they're not doing. So as long as I'm there, bro, I'm going to continue to advocate and keep pushing, man, to make sure that whoever's there is doing the right thing for the people of our city.
Exactly. So tell me just a little bit about Coachella. Give me an overview of Coachella. The majority is Mexicano, Chicano, from somewhere else, ¿verdad? The poverty level. Give me kind of like a picture.
I think it's obviously a working community. We're about close to 50,000 people. And, it's a beautiful community. It's evolved, and it's important that the right leadership is there because making sure right now they're trying to do a data center. I mean, what I've read and I know a little bit about the data center, it's not a good project for our city. And if I was in still in the commission, I would be the first one to raise my hand and say we don't want the data center. There's a lot of health issues. The energy that it needs, the water and the electricity. So. I'm gonna continue to advocate for the people of Coachella and making sure that whatever development we get good, clean development, and that our city grows the right way.
All right, and the farms around the area, is there still a lot of migrant workers going to the fields? Is all of that still going on there?
Yeah, it's still going on. Yeah, we still have a lot of land that's being worked. We got the grapes and. A lot of seasonal crop. We got across the street from me. There's 300 and some acres there. It's all organic. So all they do is grow organic. So they send me a notice that if I spray anything, I got to notify them. But they're real critical of that. But they grow garlic. They grow different types of lettuce. But yeah, it's still there's still a lot of ag work in Coachella.
All right, and it's getting hotter and hotter every year. But that's reaching 126. Do you think it's going to go higher?
If it goes any higher, then we're going to start melting. The raza, man, they got thick skin in Coachella, man. Because to be able to people walk in, and especially people from the outside. They said, I don't know how you guys can live in this weather.
I know, they'll start looking like gold.
To me, they said, we get used to it. I go, at my age, I don't think we get used to it. We just tolerate it, man.
Exactly. All right. And so then, besides the Synergy Fest, is there any other events that you do? Where could they get a hold of you?
We do several. My lady does the Rebozo Festival, which is, she does Women Rising. Women Rising started at my place at the ranch, and then they're coming up, I think, on their 15th annual. And what they've done is they incorporated the Rebozo Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is their third annual, very successful. Uh,
What is a rebozo? I'm sorry.
The Rebozo is a scarf that the women use over, and I think
why
it's
is that important?
What is it? You say why it's important?
Yeah, why is that important?
Well, I think it's important because it's part of our culture, ¿verdad? That's it originated. It goes all the way back to the Aztecs, and then it's the significance of the rebozo is pretty interesting. The women during the Revolution wore the rebozo to hide the rifles and the alitas. They had their rebozo. So it kind of with the color and the way you wear it, because they have different rebozos in different states of. I think it originally started in San Luis Potosí, was the original rebozo, and it tells you if a woman's single, if she's married. So they carry their babies with it. I mean, it's a real significant part of our culture. The way that rebozo started in Coachella was we got invited. A friend of ours, Nina and Dan, they're from Oxnard area, and they invited to one that I think they're coming up on their 19th annual. It was they do it in the city of Camarillo. So we went to. She invited us here. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, and they moved out to the desert. So when Yaya got the Rebozo started, she was part of the organizing and all that. But it was amazing how many people were involved. I got to meet a lot of people from that whole area. Real nice people. Met some of the supervisors, school board members, city council members, the mayors from some of the surrounding cities. We got some other friends in that whole area there, so they're involved in the arts. Our friend, so real interesting. But that's where the idea originated, and this year will be her third annual, and I think it's pretty close to being sold out.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right. Any other events?
We do events throughout the year. We do Arte en el Barrio, which is we do it on 6th Street. It's basically a pop-up. We have different artists, musicians. The car show we do as part of Synergy. I'm also the president of the Coachella Car Club. So
Which car club?
Coachella Car Club.
Coachella Car Club. Oh, okay. All right. I thought like the Imperials or the Emeralds or the.
No, we've had we've had a lot of car clubs that have come in and to Coachella, but my nephew that's an educator. We're just going to go to celebration on.
Who's your nephew?
Johnny Gonzalez.
Okay.
Me and him started it. He's a PhD candidate. He's rocking on.
Wow.
Graduating from Redlands on the 25th of April.
Redlands University.
Yeah,
All right, cool, awesome.
He's been a teacher at Desert Mirage High School. He also runs the Puente program.
Oh, good.
But he does some amazing work too. Beautiful work that he does, my nephew. But so me and him started the car club.
All right. So do you have any kids?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
One.
What's his name?
Ruben Gonzalez Jr.
Órale, Junior. Órale. Pues ahí estás, carnal. Órale.
A grandpa and then a great-grandpa.
All right. How many?
4 and then 6 great-grandkids.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome.
7,
right.
coming up 7. We got one on the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Ruben, if people want to get a hold of you, where can they look for you? How do they connect into all this network here?
I don't have the email. Yaya has email, but it's Culturas, Music and Art. It's not hard to find me in Coachella, you know what I mean? Because where's Ruben? I know he's over there. I can give him my phone number or my email if whatever.
Whatever you want to give over the air, ¿verdad? Because again, you don't want nobody prank calling you, carnal.
Yeah. Okay, you can go to my email. It's GoRuben, Ruben 760 @gmail.com.
All right, cool, awesome. All right, is there any other specific thing that you want to talk about? How about the youngsters? Where are they at in the movimiento and participating with the ranch?
Yeah, our doors are always open, to try to engage with the kids. I've personally myself, I've tried to mentor kids pretty much my entire life. Kids involved in the gangs and kids, and just wanting somebody to talk to. You know what I mean? I've always been there. And, you know, a lot of the kids, you know that. Even when we had the store in India, it was amazing because I have some kids that are part of another car club that they were telling me a story the other day that they used to go when they were a lot younger to the store and didn't really have any money. You know, I had a few bucks, and then I would just tell me, take the CD, don't worry about it. They would come back 6 months later, hey, Ruben, there's money we owe you. I said, don't worry about it, man. But the kids remember all those little gestures you do with the kids, you know what I mean? So that's really heart feeling, you know, to have a lot of people. I mean, that's just one scenario, but, you know, a lot of these type of situations where you do something for them and, you know, they come back 8 years later and they really appreciate the small gestures, you know.
All right. Now, is there any other events that you want to just really quickly mention? Anything else? Anything?
Well, we have the Synergy Fest coming up. It's the second week of
usually in
November.
In November,
yeah, second
okay.
week of November.
All right.
It's a big car show.
Uh-huh.
We invite all the communities, all the different car clubs from everywhere.
All right.
We've had participation from some of the clubs in LA and Riverside, San Diego,
all right,
San Bernardino. But our doors are always open. You know, we try to connect with everybody and work with everybody in harmony, man. But like I said, that's what we do. Just it's always community based, and our doors are always open, you know, for these type of events.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us. I want to thank you for coming in.
I want to thank you, Beto, for always being there, man, and all the awesome work you do.
Ándale, gracias. All right, Rosa, that's going to do it for us. We want to thank you all for tuning in. You've been listening to, of course, the Betoman here, your host on Chicano Highlights. You're listening to Radio Aslan, or KUCR 88.3 FM, broadcasting from the University of California, Riverside. Remember to tune in every Friday night live from 6 p.m. all the way through Saturday morning, 7 a.m. We are on KUCR.org. You can find us around the world. Dile a tu familia, tus hijos, tus nietos, tu sobrina y tu abuela también, carnal. Órale pues, ahí te guacho.